Hello guys. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. Hope everybody's doing good. Just before we start, quick disclaimer, anything we discuss is just for educational purpose. Nothing is financial advice. Alright guys, finally a big bounce day, but with a catch. The catch was the end of the day fade. We're still in this news-based environment. Volatility is still high. This guy said that guy said something, but we have our system. So today I'm going to show you how to trade the market bounce, what stocks to buy when the market starts to bounce, either your short-term trading, or your swing trading, what stocks to focus on, and how to change your bias. If you're day trading, how you change your bias, how you preserve your profits, and how to hold your winners long. So we'll discuss all that. Amazing day in the community today, of course, when we have a bullish bounce day. Everybody does really good. So let's start and let's do a quick introduction. I'm trying to get this recap early out today so that everybody can watch it and learn. So let's start a quick introduction here. So we trade a repeatable system called Ripster EMA Clouds System, and my teachings that I've been teaching for over 8-9 years on X, on YouTube, on ripstereducation.com, our free website. My teachings, which have changed thousands of lives, you can go and check on ripstereducation.com, see thousands of testimonials with my free education, how the traders has benefited, became successful day traders, swing traders, or investors. So anyways, we also trade all my concepts, all my using the tools that I have developed, all my teachings in our community, Tanner Trade Group, one of the largest online trading community, where thousands of traders are trading every day, one of the largest trading floor we have. So we plan everything in the pre-market. This system, their setup. So system is how you trade, setup is what you trade. So how you find what to trade. So we make a plan. In the pre-market, what we're going to trade. I highlight the red plays. I make this plan live in the community. I highlight the plays we are watching. Sometimes they trigger, sometimes they don't. But I also guide the traders live on the voice, on the screen share, first few hours of the market open. So we have this initial plan in the pre-market that's provided to the traders so they trade themselves, a rule-based system. You can simply follow the rule and the systems, keeping losers small, winners big. We also have something called Ripster Day 2, Day 3 strategy. Lily was a big one with that. Micron was a big one trade. We took a lot of our day. Today was a lot of day 2 setups that we traded. So we're going to cover our day 2 setups as well. So in addition to that, we also trade crypto. We trade crypto stocks. We provide this in the pre-market. We trade futures. Futures was pretty good today. We trade ETFs, Mag 7s. All this is provided to the traders in the pre-market as well. We trade IPOs. We trade low floors. We trade a lot of things. So we have set a lot of concepts that we follow. We have morning setups, we have 10 a.m. setups, we have midday setups. We have a lot of tools to help us. We have 3 options flow scanner, stock scanner, breaking news alert. We're also adding our GEX flow there. We have hold, unhold, breaking news, squawks, a lot of tools. Tools worth $500-600, which are free for every trader who joins the community. Anyways, we'll show you timestamp recap on my timestamp guidance on all of the setups, how we traded, how we managed a good day today, and how we managed the morning. Important lessons today, how we traded the bounce. If you want to look in a particular stock, that's on my recap list, so you can go to that episode here below. But if not, let's start the recap. So before I go in the details how to trade the market bounce, we always want to look at of course this is a different kind of environment, very news based. But since yesterday the bullish news came out that Iran is trying to ready for ceasefire negotiations, the market held the gap. Yesterday was the MTF bounce. Yesterday this was our MTF cloud bounce. I did tweet about it yesterday as well, MTF cloud. So this is the first bullish move, which tells us it's a bullish move. What we really did was complete the MTF magnet from yesterday 1 hour to today's MTF. So you could swing from MTF to MTF. It's a very repeatable swing trading setup as well. So what we look for on the second day is the gap being held or not. We look for the 3450 clouds. Are they being held or not? You can see how clean the cloud system is, right? The best trading system. So you can see that how the move went from cloud to cloud. So this morning, let's say you get up in the morning, you're kind of nervous, you don't understand if market's going to do something, we're going to get a big move or what it's going to do. So that's how you plan. You draw your levels in the pre-market and also in the first 10 minutes, right? So we draw those levels. I did recap it there as well. So we draw our levels like that, right? So let's see what was our plan, of course. So let's go first, how we traded it. Hindsight always. So the plan on market, the news, live plan, VIX 25, 24 key levels today. Any hold of 25 will mean some profit taking. Watch the previous day close, very important. You have to watch the previous day close to hold to long the market. If VIX bounce from 25, be careful. If VIX breaks 25, watch 24, you can long it. So when the market started, we were initially long on the first candle. This candle we were long. Let's take a look here. So we were long right away, right? So right away, because we were long, because I saw the VIX a little weak in the morning. We saw them some weakness. Let's take a look here. Yeah. So I saw a little weakness on VIX right here from 25 rejection. I told the traders to long this call right at this candle. But I also told the trader we are not going anywhere unless and until we break the pre-market highs. Right? So we got to break that pre-market highs so we can push higher. So that was a confirmation. I told the traders to add small here. Add small, you can see 512 call, long setup. I gave the stops. When this candle pulled back, our break-even stops hit. Because once it's moving from 582 to 584, nice profitable trade. But when this candle comes, we have to respect, because I didn't want it to break this, because we move our stops break even. So we stopped out. But then you see what you get is 10 a.m. calls. So this was 10 a.m. calls. The gap is holding. VIX is weak. You see VIX is breaking down at 10 a.m. 25. You get back long. So I told the traders, those who are still long, use the 3450 as your risk. Watch the pre-market high to break out for the next leg up. And that's exactly what happened. Let's take a look here. So let's take a look here. So this was the morning, what I tweeted to many traders here. Let's take a look. Yeah. So I tweeted to the traders, no trend yet. So watch this, right? This area. So when this is holding, you can use this as risk. That's what I guided the traders in the community. And then once we break out of that, let's see, I can show you that. Let me go there. Let's see if I can show you that. Yeah. So you add here 3450, put your stops here, and that's the pre-market breakout. You hold it and you get the next leg up, and we get a big breakout over this range. This is called a range breakout setup. No hindsight, I showed step by step, and I told the traders to watch VIX 24. We were targeting the upper MTFs here. So we were targeting the upper MTF, almost to hit close by, not exactly, but we did get there. And then once we break 512, you get out. There was some news, you short it, you get out. So this was basically the move. This is how you long it from 581, 582, risk $1, take it all the way. And that's what I told the traders, 3450 stops. Then I told them to move the stops to 657 and 586. 586 and 657, even though we moved stops higher when we moved higher. And once this breaks, you get out, you can make some money on the downside as well. Puts went 100%. I actually made some profit selling the calls when it broke down there. So that was the all over long trade today. As per the plan, you see VIX goes from 25 to 24, then bounces from 24, you short it, right? So that was basically the long trade today. The thing you got to watch it when you're trying to buy the bounces is the gap holding, is the 3450 clouds holding, is the pre-market level holding. That's the whole thing, everything you got to watch when you're trading the bounces. And of course, I explained to you that the first thing is a 1 hour MTF cloud, and it ran to the MTF to MTF, the full MTF magnet swing setup as well. And you're rising 3450 clouds. That was good at the open. Even if you get out at the open, you can get back right here to the long side. So now the market was bullish running all day. Now we need to find which stocks are actually good to long. Which stocks were actually good longs to long today. There was a lot of stocks, not like the complete sectors. Google, Amazon, which we will recap today, they were pretty strong names. I talked about Google, that Google is stronger name, Google is good. I also talked about Amazon being very strong name, you know. So there was definitely good setups which were pretty strong. Amazon became stronger a little bit while later. You see, this is a 10 a.m. call. When market was curling, you could take those Amazon and Google as well with you there on that long. But these were not the real big winners. The real big winners were the hottest sectors that I teach you every day. Focus on the hottest sector. So let's see. So what are our hot sectors, right? So let's take a look here. Our hottest sectors. Let's take a look here at our photonic sector. Right, so our photonic sector, you know, there's a lot of stocks in photonics, but we focus on our leader, which is AAOI. You know, so which is AAOI, pretty good stock. You know, I have been the funds have been buying it. If you go to Tanner Research, 50 basis growth, 34% revenue growth, all that I always teach you guys talk about. So, anyways, that was our focus, AAOI. So, what was our pre-market plan on AAOI? Let's take a look here. AAOI pre-market plan, trade long over 1 hour MTF breakout. I made it red, short under 1 hour MTF breakout. So what happens? AAOI. As soon as I see the strength, relative strength, remember, when the market is weak, when you get a correction, you look for the hottest sectors before the correction to make a trade on those names. It's a different thing that it dropped later in the day. Of course, market was dropping, it would drop, but it was enough money to be made. I told the traders to long versus 1 hour MTF breakout, 88 stops. You get it at 89.50, or try to get it a little lower. I gave it a long right at the open, so we got entry at 89. Our risk was $1, and I moved the stops to 90. I decided to move up. We hit 95.81. Size small, right? If you're, let's say, every trade you're willing to lose $500, so you're only taking 500 shares. You can't be taking 1,000 shares here, 2,000 shares here. You know, even the options you take, you should not lose on your fixed. Watch my risk management webinar. I cover the risk analysis, right? So that was our, you know, that breakout long here, and it hit 95, and then once it broke this 512 and broke this MTF magnet, we got out. You could short it here as well, 512s. You change the bias with the system, with the cloud. For the swing, it's a wider risk, because swing is like $80 risk there, but for swing we want to see it back over the 1 hour MTF cloud. Still a hot sector. If Trump doesn't say something crazy today, if it's bullish, we'll see what happens tomorrow. But that's how you focus on the hard sectors. Let's look at the next hard sector that we are talking about here. All right, so let's take a look. So the next one is memory stocks. Memory. I talk it all the time. Those who follow me religiously, they know that. So let's look at our memory stocks here. Let's go to our Tanner Research investment platform. So you can see that the memory stocks, you know, insane revenue growth on most of them. Micron, SNDK, hot sectors. We already know that. Top 2 sectors were long today. And let me show you what happened. Let's go to the pre-market planning here. Let's take a look at pre-market planning on Micron, and these were all our day 2 setups. So remember, day 2 strategy. How do I know Micron? Because I put it on the top list, because I know Micron sold off a lot recently, so it's our day 2 setups. All right, so it's our day 2 setup to watch. So Micron, there was a city card, the price target, whatever, but we were on top of it. So this one, you know, this was our plan, right? Long over 1 hour MTF clouds. So what did the Micron do? Yesterday we had a bunch of other MTF setups. I'm just going to try to see if I can show you that. We had other MTF setups yesterday. So yesterday I showed you a lot of MTF longs. You know, we had Meta, we had Google, there were a bunch of other MTF setups. We had Lilly, which was our day 2 setups, ARM. So today it was MTF was Micron, right? As soon as I see it's pushing over the MTF, I tell the trader it's a 1 hour MTF long. You see this wick, you get it in at 350. Your risk is $5. You take it to 576. Your risk $5. You make $20, 1 risk to 5 reward. You hold. I told the traders to move the stops 349. You know, then we move the stops to 386. I meant 376 there. So we stopped out once this broke, and you could short it back to 34.50. So you can see the step-by-step guidance. It was also an MTF magnet setup. MTF to the MTF magnet setup, cheat code setup, guys. All you had to do is hold. Even if you were trading leverage ETFs, you could buy 1,000 shares of MULL, risk $1,000, you could make 10 grand. That's the kind of trade it was. If you just traded that MTF magnet setup on Micron, and you never get out. I tell my traders hold. Yes, you can get out when it's 512 breaks. Now if you are swinging it, that's a different risk reward, right? You're swinging it versus the the daily chart. Right now the risk is around 350 area for the swing, but you don't want to see it break 3450. You don't want to see it break 1 hour cloud. So that was our Micron long hot sector. Focus on the hot sectors, right? So let's look at the next one here. So next one you want to look at is SNDK. SNDK, another one. That was our long versus 650. So SNDK was our 2021 MTF long. You see the wicks on Micron, you see the wicks on SNDK. You could see that how, right? So this is how you buy the dip on the second day. You see the market is holding the gap. You see the clouds is holding. Find the hottest stock, long them. This one ran for us from 660 to 700, 710. You risk $10, you make $40. You risk $1,000, you make $4,000. That's that kind of trade it was. Beautiful trade. You could also trade leverage ETF SNXX. So that was a beautiful trade for us. Let's go to the next one. All right. So next one we're going to talk about is MRVL. So what was there on the MRVL? Let's take a look. MRVL was one of our top stocks as well. It's also again hot sector MRVL. It's AI infrastructure. It is also in photonics. It was a hot sector, 22% revenue growth. Beautiful move here. So MRVL, as soon as I see this bouncing here, I tell the traders to long it. If you miss it, buy the pullback here. Your risk is 100. In this case, you could risk a little bit higher than 100, maybe 101, buy the 102.20. So I told the traders, use the stop 102. You buy 103, your stop's 102. I told the traders at 950 right here and ran to 107, $5 per share profit. Size small, you just need to size small and ride the clouds all the way until it breaks down. So beautiful trade, timestamp guidance, no hindsight. Let's look at the next one here. So next one we're going to look at is, let's take a look here. It is Rocket Lab. So Rocket Lab, we were long, but I got out break even because it was chopping, market was pulling back. You see that when the market pulled back right here, when the QQQ pulled back right here, Rocket Lab pulled it with it. So I told the trader to long, use the stops on Rocket Lab here, but it pulled back. I got out on this candle, but you see it's still holding 3450. So I told the traders you can long it again, use the stops 3450. Went out to hit the MTF target. Not a crazy trade, but you see that the clouds are giving you clear direction how to trade it. Rule-based trade. This was our pre-market planning. Highlighted beneficiary of NASA, gap and go there on Rocket Lab. So this was a space sector, guys. This was the space sector. Space sector was hot. Space sector also had another news there. Let's look at our space sector. Space. Let's find our space. Space and rocket, RDW, also on the space and rocket right here. RDW, revenue growing 56%. So RDW, what was the plan on RDW in the pre-market? Red wire, NASA bullish over yesterday highs. That was a simple plan to long RDW. This is the second name, RDW. Held yesterday highs, long breakout, pushed higher. So that was RDW. So, and next one was, let's look at ASTS. Space, we're still talking about the space. So you see space also ran, but it stopped you out, but it went into those MTF clouds resistance. You see MTF clouds are resistance. So MTF clouds are very important. So I'm just showing you that even though these ones didn't move crazy, and of course you could show it right here, the hard sectors. I just talked about the memory. I just talked about the photonics. I just talked about all these names that you could trade for nice profit today, especially when the market is bouncing, you focus on the hard sectors. All right, let's look at next one here. Next one we're going to look at is Lily. Lily was our day 2 setup. Even yesterday was a day setup from the MTF Clouds. Today was a 3450. Great guidance on Lily by great guidance by traders in the community today on Lily. Let's take a look here. Lily, Fahad gave the long right or the open. Michael gave the long. A lot of traders were long. The pre-market, I made it as a top day 2. Top day 2s, you know, good news today. Long over 920, ran all the way, broke the MTF target. Almost completed the next MTF. Beautiful move on Lily. Just wanted to talk about these day 2 setups. All right, let's talk about our loser here now. We had a couple of losers, nothing crazy. Our losers are small, winners are big. We had Restoration Hardware. Restoration Hardware, what was the pre-market plan? Earning play. Misses, bearish buys to short the pops, cautious if it holds, 110 for calls. So Restoration Hardware started to bounce. You know, I told the traders right here to take a call long on Restoration Hardware, no shorts. It did push, you know, we moved the stops to 111. We started with 110 stops. It pushed to 113. Then it stopped us out. We got out, you know, almost a scratch. You could short it later, but I told the traders to get out of that Restoration Hardware, right? So there were some other trades which did not do anything, but we didn't even lose anything on that. MP was this 1 hour MTF, but it could never break over the pre-market highs. It was all chop, you know, so we got out of MP without doing anything. It was a long at 49, 10, 20 cents. We were just out of it. You see, when stock does that, it's not going anywhere. So it's not worth your time to waste on that. All right, let's look at some other setups here. There were some great trades in the community. I just want to, one of our great traders, D-Trade, you know, he was trading these setups in the community. Let's take a look on D-Trade's trades here. What D-Trade was doing today. Let's take a look here. So D-Trade traded Micron, Intel, and FSLY. So let's look at his Micron trade. Of course, he was buying 352, selling 373. Amazing guidance there by D-Trade. But I want to show you the FSLY Intel. Yeah, you see double MTF right here. He guided all the traders from 44 all the way to 48, $4 profit. Just insane down. Very proud of D-Trade. Live guidance in the community. You know, all these traders are using clouds. You know, they're not waiting on me. They're themselves doing it. Look at this FSLY trade. Beautiful stock FSLY, you know, and it ran a nice daily chart. Growth coming back. So yeah, just wanted to show you that how traders are changing their life, being consistent, successful traders from my teachings, and so proud of these traders. They're self-dependent, confident traders. Special shout out to D-Trades today on this Micron, Intel, and FSLY guidance to the community. Huge winners, huge green day for everyone thanks to those moves today. So we had another earning trade, nothing special. It was an NCNO. NCNO was a gap and crap. I told the traders gap and crap, pop, short any pops. So if you look at the pre-market plan, the plan on NCNO was bullish as long as 18 holds, gap and crap under 18, 1750. So once it breaks this 18, you take a short, take it all the way to 16. You risk $1,000 to make $2,000. So that was our gap and crap short. Lovely trade, lovely trade. My favorite setup, gap and crap, and you get out here. You short 1,000 shares, 1780, 1750. You know, you make $1,000. Your stops right here at the 18 bucks. So that's a beautiful trade on grab and crap. All right, guys, thank you. Well, big day today, and will be important tonight what Trump says. Thank you.